As we welcome you to the Mustang Corral here at Edgewood High School, Ellettsville, Indiana. It is JV boys basketball as the Orleans Bulldogs are in town to face the Edgewood Mustangs. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang basketball on Smithville Sports alongside Quinn Saturday. I am Nick Jenkinson. Quinn, the JV team 14-5 this year under Coach Brad Moorhead. But more importantly, they've got their big wins come against their county rivals, Bloomington South and Bloomington North.
Yeah. Edgewood is always kind of, as you pointed out in the past, South is the older brother, North is the younger brother, and then Edgewood is like the adopted stepchild of the trio. And you know, Edgewood has had their day schooling both of their older brothers this season. Yeah, and are looking to finish this season strong.
Looking to finish this season strong with a good record. Their losses come to Bloomfield, Danville Tri-West, Owen Valley, Bedford North Lawrence, and Bedford North Lawrence. They've won, their JVs won the last three at North Putnam, at Monrovia, and then Bloomington North as well. As we get ready for this JV game, you see the Orleans Bulldogs. We will look at them first. They will start Brayton Clipp, number 11, 5'10", junior at forward. Drake Love is number 22, 5'11", freshman. In the middle, Dane Elrod, 6' junior. And then Justin Troutman at one guard, number 5, 5'8", sophomore. And then Josh Ray is a 5'9", junior. Their coach, Michael Stroud. You know, we've had Orleans in the past, Quinn, a 1A school, always, you know, the small guy, but you know what? They always give Edgewood a rough go.
At guard, a junior.
Always give them a rough go. Always a challenge.
At forward, a freshman.
You know, just the size of your school does not indicate the quality of your team. And Orleans, and also I would put Bloomberg in that category as well. That it doesn't matter that they're 1A. They are going to put out quality teams year in and year out.
As we look at the Edgewood Mustangs, Sean Sims, a 5'11" junior, number 30. Landon Ringler, number 24. He's a forward, 6'2" junior.
22,
Henry Dorian is a 6'1" sophomore, number 22.
Guard, a sophomore, number 12, Aiden Jurgis.
Aiden Jurgis, 5'11", sophomore, wears number 12. And then Caden Huttenlocker is a 6'1" sophomore for Brad Moorhead. Takes over for Jeff Harrington as the JV coach. Jeff Harrington, a great Edgewood JV, has been strong the last couple years, Quinn, always with a good prep for the varsity. As we look at, you see Edgewood in the white and the Orleans Bulldogs in the red.
Bloomfield, I'm sorry. That's what I meant.
As it's going to be Ringler and Josh Ray to jump, and we're underway. So here's Edgewood going right to the basket. It's Huttenlocker, and Edgewood is on the board. Orleans with the ball. Going to go right to the basket and attack, and that's Brayton Clipp, number 11, and it's tied at 2.
And immediately took advantage. Edgewood was a little lackadaisical getting back on defense and immediately just cut through them as they were trying to figure out how to get set into defense.
Yeah, that's not, you don't want to go to sleep on a team like Orleans because a lot of these teams, they love that back cut, that back door offense, or they're going to drive it on you. Edgewood's going to pull it from outside. Sean Sims misses and rebound to Josh Ray. Here come the Bulldogs. Elrod loses it. It was touched off Edgewood. It will be Orleans ball. Ray with it. Inside. Edgewood immediately just goes right to the ball. Sims deflects it into the hands of Orleans. And Sims is going to commit the foul.
Yeah, this is going to be what always makes this such a tough matchup is that Edgewood is used to being the scrappier team, but when facing a team like Orleans, you can tell right away that they are definitely the scrappier team, the one who's going to try to take advantage of every little miscue.
Bulldogs can't get a couple opportunities, can't get it to go out of bounds. It will be Edgewood ball.
But you saw right on that possession that he was able to get 3 offensive rebounds to try to get that second chance shots. There's going to be nothing easy. Every single miscue is going to be an advantage for Orleans, and Edgewood needs to play the exact same way and force the Bulldogs to make mistakes.
Orleans likes to go half court. Good pass inside. Doring to Ringler, gets it partially blocked, and Orleans comes up with it, and then Coach Stroud tells him to hold up. But Sims is going to force that 5 count. Hunt and Locker comes to help, and they get the turnover as Orleans called for travel.
And very close to a foul as well, so that would happen if he had able to hold on to the possession just a little bit longer, probably would have gotten bailed out with a foul call.
Son Sims so far has really come out and been very aggressive on defense. He's got 1 foul so far. Probably could have had another 2 as it rims in for Hunt and Locker. He's got all 4 Edgewood points. Mustangs up 2. This is Justin Troutman, number 5. And you see Edgewood double teaming the ball handler. And there it is. Hunt and Locker deflects it into the hands of Ringler.
And just as I said, who's going to be the scrappiest team today? And Edgewood has flipped the switch right now.
And Hunt and Locker's shot in and out. And it's rebounded to Troutman. Here comes Orleans. Nice move by Brayton Clipp. He can't get the shot to go. Another offensive rebound for the Bulldogs. And then they were called for the travel. So they get the offensive rebounds, but then they get called for the travel on several possessions.
Second straight position where it ended with travel. You gotta be careful about that pivot foot. You have some maneuverability, but you have to keep that 1 foot planted in the ground.
There is Hunt and Locker. He's got all 6 points for the Mustangs. As Elrod has it for Orleans, gets it to Troutman. Approaching 3 minutes to go. Troutman double teamed, gets it partially blocked. Here's Jorgis for the Mustangs, gets it to Doring, and he finishes.
Simple numbers in transition leads to that basket and a very crucial timeout here for Coach Stroud.
Edgewood on an 8-0 run here with 2:59 to go before the end of the first quarter. So the Mustangs tonight come in varsity-wise 9-10. One thing, of course, Quinn, we haven't seen Edgewood since mid-December, and now, of course, the last time we saw Edgewood, Trevor Taylor wasn't with the team, and now he's back and has made the impact for Edgewood.
He's always been a very important player for this team. He absolutely changes the dynamic. He allows the spacing for Coleman Sater to be able to dominate in the paint. Some of the issues that they were having early in the season is just that everyone's going to pack the paint. Yes, Edgewood has 3-point shooters, but you knew that you were going to have to want to get in his way, get in his passing lanes. Now with Taylor around, there's a player that you absolutely have to worry about.
As you see the nice pass from Hunt and Locker to Sims after Ringler deflected it, and Edgewood is on a 10-0 run. And now Sims will get called for his second foul. As Orleans will have the ball down 8. Blake Love, number 22. Brayton Cliff is 11. Triple teamed, can't get the shot to go, and Ringler with the rebound. Now the foul on Orleans. That will be Clip, his first and the team's first.
Almost feels like Edgewood was kind of like they weren't expected to get shoved in that first minute, and they basically shoved back, and Orleans can't do anything about it.
Huntenlocker can't get it to go, gets his own rebound. Good ball movement. Doring, little Euro step in the lane, and he gets it to go. He's got 4. 12.
And that's one thing where younger players, and an incredible job by him, is that when you do that, you can't move from that. You can't move after you make that little hop. And he was able to immediately just take that shot and make it.
There is the steal and basket by Doring. And it is 14-2. Again, Edgewood all over defensively. Numbers. Huntenlocker misses it. As can't get it to go. Good pass from Doring to Ringler. 16-0 run for the Mustangs. Complete domination after Orleans scored the first 2 of the game.
Yeah, and in all honesty, including right there, that make that 7 straight possessions where they haven't really gotten a good shot off.
Kicked out.
You have to credit Edgewood's defense for that, but also just outside of that one defensive lapse, the offense hasn't really gotten going for the Bulldogs. They haven't been able to get any kind of spacing, just drives to the baskets and then just kind of throw it up and hope that the ref calls the foul. That's basically been the last 5 possessions.
The Mustangs foul called on Justin Troutman. Yeah, credit Edgewood's defense for just a job well done, as it's led to several points. Sean Sims gets blocked, falls to the ground, and then Ringler falls over him. Orleans got the numbers. Clip gonna fire from the wing. The drought continues as a lot of contact, ball loose. Huntenlocker comes up with it, and he's gonna just take it himself, miss it, and they're gonna call Sims over the back, and that is 3 on Sean Sims here in the first quarter. We will now see 14, Braden Robinson in for Sean Sims. Sims has 2 points, but 3 fouls, been the workhorse on defense. Now we'll see how Orleans responds, and immediately they do with Dane Elrod scoring at the end of the quarter, but it's all Edgewood, 16-4 here on Smithville Sports.
Smithville Media has produced stunning and engaging features and documentaries for over a decade. Local interest stories, interviews, commercials and event coverage are all part of what we do. Let us showcase your business or create a commercial for your promotions. We can even play your pieces during our live sports broadcasts. For details, speak with a Smithville representative or email media@smithville.com.
As we welcome you back, you see Brad Moorhead, the JV coach of the Edgewood Mustangs. His team up on Orleans 16-4 as we get ready to start the second quarter. A reminder that Varsity will follow 20 minutes after the conclusion of this game. Orleans comes in 7-12, losing to Paoli 55-50 last night. Edgewood had the night off and they are ready for tonight's game with a 9-10 record. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang Basketball and Smithville Sports alongside Quinn Saturday. I am Nick Jackson. Well, Quinn, it's defense that leads to offense, and Edgewood with a huge run there in that first quarter.
And at the end of that quarter, you heard me say nicely done because, as I said, the last 7 to 8 possessions they weren't really good. But that right there, they were just drives to the basket and trying to throw something up. But right there, he was able to drive to the basket and find the open man, which led to their first basket in almost 6.5 minutes.
That's a foul on the Mustangs. Will send the Bulldogs to the line. A couple substitutions in the game for Orleans. Huntlocker with a foul for the Mustangs, his first, team's 4th. As Brayton Clip at the line gets the foul shot to go. 5'10" junior, he has 3 points tonight. Bryce Burning, number 3 in the game. Xavier Brooks, number 4, and 25, Connor Baker, all in the game for Orleans. As Clip hits both, lead is 10. Yergis to Braden Robinson. Inside, ball loose. Orleans comes up with it. Trying to work their way back into this. There's the drive for Brooks. It was blocked. Here comes Edgewood. Yergis gets it to Ringler. They're going to reset the offense. There's Doring. Good pass. Yergis for 3. No good. Baker with the rebound.
Really good position that just didn't end in a basket. Had the shot they wanted, but just kind of put a little too much on it. Sometimes you can be too open.
There is a kick off Yergis, and it will be Edgewood or Orleans ball. It will be Baker inbound. There is Josh Ray. Levin is Clip, double teamed. Edgewood not giving Orleans any space whatsoever. There's a shot in traffic, no good for Josh Ray, and Edgewood with the rebound.
That was a frustration shot. Basically, we haven't gotten anything going. I'm going to take the quickest window possible.
Caden Hunenlocker answers at the other end with his 8th point of the night. Third foul on the Bulldogs as Ray commits the foul. Hunenlocker at the line, 6'1" sophomore. And he hits that one. And it's a 19-6 lead for Edgewood. Xavier Brooks, Clip, double teamed. Got to get it away. Baker has it. Ray's going to fire a shot, and he hits it from outside.
With a hand in his face, no less.
So what Edgewood's done
all
night.
Nice.
Ringler, ball hits the ball.
The bounce was karma right there because that was an excellent shot fake into a pass on the perimeter.
Ringler has 4. Lead is 12 for the Mustangs. Shot does not fall for Brooks. Baker with it. This is Ray inside, can't get it to go, but gets the foul called. They're going to call Yergis for the foul. That's his first, team's 5th. Going to send Josh Ray to the line. He's got the only triple in the ball game so far either way. 5'9" junior. Can't get that one to go. He's got one more.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was hard to believe that Edgewood hasn't hit a three because everyone knows the Edgewood game doesn't start until they hit a three.
Maybe just Varsity. Well, here we go. Huntenlocker, he can't get that one to go. Baker can't finish. Ball tapped around Huntenlocker, outlet Ringler. Jurgis gets it inside to Ringler. I don't know how he threaded that pass inside, but he did. But empty possession for Edgewood. Off the side of the board, the shot for Clip, and here comes Edgewood with it. Doring. Robinson, and there's the three you're looking for, Quinn, as Braden Robinson hits the first one.
We welcome you live here from Ellettsville.
Not the last one we'll see tonight either.
The game has officially started.
Edgewood always known for their outside shooting as Connor Baker hits the two for Orleans. Lead is 13 for the Mustangs. Jurgis is fouled, will go to the line as he couldn't get it to fall. That is on Brooks. So Aiden Jurgis at the line, 5'11" sophomore. All the guys that are on the floor except for Robinson have seen a little time in varsity this season, and we're going to see Joshua Webb, number 20, come in for Edgewood. A couple subs for Orleans as well. One more for Jurgis. And he gets that one to go. Lead is 15. Blake Love. There's a three, no good for the Bulldogs. Baker with the rebound and putback, he's got 4. 2.5 minutes to go. Stay tuned, we'll have a great halftime feature for you. Huntenlocker. Jurgis. Inside and gets the lay in. He's got 4.
I'm really loving the spacing and the driving lanes that Edgewood has created for themselves throughout this first half. There has been quite a lot of points off of miscues from the Bulldogs, but there's also been some really good offensive sets here.
Edgewood always runs a solid offense. They get a lot of shots, as you mentioned, love to shoot the three ball, but they all drive inside as well. Also do a good job from the foul line. That's a foul for Edgewood. That's on Huntenlocker, his second and the team's 6th.
If I am Coach Moorhead, I just let him stay out there right now. There's only about a minute and a half left. Trust that he's going to be able to not get that third foul.
Baker inside, he gets fouled. We'll get to go to the line. This time they get Joshua Webb on the foul.
And that is going to put the Bulldogs in the bonus for the last 126.
Connor Baker at the line for Orleans. 6-foot junior. Their varsity team made up basically of juniors and seniors, and there's a few of these juniors that do play to help out the JV team. As always in JV, between JV and varsity, 5 quarters a night. One more for Baker, he's got 6. 28-15. Jurgis, Doring to Jurgis. Edgewood going to spread out. Foul inside. As they're going to get Brayton Clip with the foul, his 5th. Approaching a minute to go here. Edgewood 13-point lead. Jurgis drives. They're going to call Justin Troutman for the foul, his 2nd, team 6. One more, and then Edgewood will be in the bonus. Webb just throws a bad pass by Robinson to Webb. It just sails out of bounds.
I thought that was a failed attempt at trying to hit it off of a Bulldog player and get it back in.
Well, nonetheless, Orleans ball. Good hustle, though, by Webb as he was trying to save it. Couldn't save it. Ball stays with the Bulldogs. There is the steal by Robinson, one-on-one, and he gets it and will go to the line. Called Josh Ray for the foul, his 2nd. Orleans, both teams now on the 1-and-1. Braden Robinson, 5'10", sophomore, has 5 points tonight. Make it 6. 31-15. Working it around. There is Troutman.
Ooh, nice.
Gets it. Had to just save himself from going out of bounds.
And what he did right there was, again, I mentioned that a lot of JV players don't really know how to use their pivot foot. He was able to cycle in and then spin right back out and dish it out to the foul line, basically preventing turning what would have been a turnover into free throws.
As Coach Moorhead's going to call a 30-second timeout here with 19.5 left to go. Well, coming up for Edgewood, their schedule, they will play Northview on Tuesday night here at home, then Mitchell next Friday night. That will be the final regular season home game, and we will have that game for you here on Smithville Sports, and then they close the season February 27th at Eastern Green. The sectional draw is next Sunday at 5 o'clock, so Edgewood will find out who they will be playing, and this year's sectional is here at Edgewood, so they will welcome Brown County, Brownstown Central, Northview, Owen Valley, South Vermilion, and West Vigo to the Mustang Corral. And that should be a very wide open sectional this season. So Josh Ray at the line. He's got 4 points, 1 of 2 from the line. And in and out, make it 1 of 3. Rebound and put back for Blake Love. So Orleans continues to get offensive rebounds.
It's definitely been the best part of their offense so far.
Edgewood's got to fire. Jurgis gonna leave it short. We'll go to halftime with the Mustangs up 17-31. As we look at the highlights and look at this, just poetry in motion. Huntlocker to Sims. And then Doreen in the lane gets it to go. Here is just Edgewood pushing it and finishing. A good pass from Jurgis to Doreen. Orleans block. Here's Doreen. Points off. Turnovers the key for Edgewood in that first half. Also just great ball movement inside Landon Ringler. A lot of contact, no call, gets it to finish. Orleans, though, offensive rebounds. There is Connor Baker.
Evansville Wrestling Regional.
And then Braden Robinson hits the outside shot as Edgewood up 31-17 on Smithville Sports.
Turner will be be advanced.
Hi, I'm Christy McBride, Director of Hoosier Hills Career Center. So part of what we do here at the Career Center is to make sure that we are preparing students for college, careers, and beyond. Our goal is to make sure that those students that come into our center have marketable, transferable skills that they can use in a variety of locations, or to at least give them those entry-level skills where they can keep climbing up the ladder and learning more. So Hoosier Hills Career Center offers opportunities for any student. Typically we have juniors and seniors that come to our program, but because we're physically attached to Bloomington North High School, we have freshmen and sophomores who come. We are seated in Monroe County, but we service Owen County, Morgan County, and Greene County. We have 5 different school districts that allow us to serve 9 different schools. So we have quite a broad spectrum of folks that we can serve here at the Career Center. We offer close to 200 dual credits completely free of charge to our students. So students can come out with a technical certificate, or if they're really hardworking and they combine their technical skill dual credits and their academic dual credits, they actually can get to an associate's degree. Last spring, we were awarded a grant that is through the Department of Workforce Development called the Skill Up 3 grant. And that allowed for us to bring the Emergency Medical Services program to Hoosier Hills Career Center. Super excited about that program, not just with the dual credits that are offered, but we've had numerous students ask about what's next. They may take a health science class and say, well, I really want to go and do something on the, what about on the ambulance? I want to work on the ambulance, or I want to work in the ER. So it really made sense to listen to the students and say, what's next?
My name is Mike Hendricks, and I'm an instructor here at Hoosier Hills Career Center, and I teach the EMT program. I started in 1983 as a first responder, and also became a CPR instructor in 1983. Have been continuously certified as a CPR instructor, and I've also been in EMS continuously since then. Been an EMT and then an advanced EMT. So the EMT course is approximately 160 didactic hours, meaning lecture type hours. This class runs for the entire school year. And by the time we have all of the sending schools come in, get settled, and then by the time they have to leave early to catch their buses, we get about 2.5 hours of quality education time in. So I try to make this training as realistic as I can, knowing that high school students don't have a lot of background to draw from. So we teach in teams. I make the students responsible to each other. A lot of the homework is taught in a team concept where they have to work together. We practice as a team, and we are responsible to each other for our actions or inactions. Because in EMS, we have to work together as a team. If we don't, then our care suffers and the patient suffers. So everything is based on cooperation and respect, as well as a hierarchy of leadership. So we also use a student team leader. So we learn a chain of command in this class as well. We have students who come in from the fire science program. I have students coming in from the medical technology class. And then I have students who come in with no other background whatsoever. When they leave the program, I have students who will go to college and use this for allied health, such as respiratory therapy. I have students who will go into nursing. I've had students go into the military and use the program there. And I've had students go straight into employment, working at a fire department or an ambulance service. And I'm proud to say that I have 2 students right now working together in Martinsville on an ambulance. So the students do get to graduate and go into real-world experience. So it's mostly high school seniors, and because of the age requirement, we want students to be able to test and get certified by the end of the school year. So in other words, we want students who will be 18 by the end of May. So the aspects of the training are, this is a fully credentialed National Registry EMT program. That curriculum is regulated by the Department of Transportation, and it's administered by the Department of Homeland Security. So we meet all the requirements through Indiana, through Department of Homeland Security, and then as required by National Registry. So the students will earn their National Registry certification first, then they can transfer that to a state of Indiana certification. The testing is in two parts. One is there's a skills or hands-on portion that involves 13 different skill stations.
The nature of the testing is very different than sitting down at a computer and answering questions or writing an essay. This is how do you perform with a person strapped on a backboard or taking them from one position on the ground to a sitting position. It is just a very different type of testing environment.
The second part is there's a written test that's on a computer, and the computer is predictive in its analysis of whether a student or candidate will pass. And within the first 12 questions, that National Registry exam will know if you're going to pass or not. And it can take you from 70 to approximately 120 questions.
Mr. Hendricks, our teacher, just cares a whole lot about every single student. He wants everybody to pass. So he'll do anything he can to help them.
The advantage of taking the training here in a career center setting is the students or the candidates are getting the training now while they're young, and so potential employers such as the fire department are not having to pay for that training. These students graduate with their credentials, so they're already employable. They're ready to work. EMTs their skill sets are becoming more and more valuable as the population increases and as the need for more physicians and more healthcare workers increases. EMTs will be utilized more and more. There is a definite high demand.
We've actually had folks from Indianapolis. The Indianapolis EMT outreach coordinator came down and shared with our students and was trying to recruit them because the need is across the state.
I would highly recommend this course, especially in this setting, because it is a college level course. The students get 7.5 hours of college credit through Ivy Tech. Those transfer across the state. So if a student wants to go into nursing, if they want to go into allied health, they've got an excellent start to a college education program. I've had students who've told me they love coming to class every day because it's like Christmas every day. I'm always opening some new box and they're getting to see something new or experience something new, and every day's different. More
folks are trying to figure out what they can actually do to help others, which is heartwarming. You know, that's what we want to see. We want to grow that compassion, and these students absolutely want to do those things to serve. The ability for us to offer our students and folks from the community the stair-stepping ability to just keep going up that ladder and getting more training and going further with what you want to do for your profession, you know, that's really what it's all about.
As we welcome you back to the Mustang Corral here at Edgewood High School. Edgewood leads Orleans 31-17 at halftime of the JV contest as we get ready to start the third quarter play. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang Basketball and Smithfield Sports. Alongside Quinn Saturday, I am Nick Jenkinson. And Quinn, after Orleans scored the first 2 points of the game, Edgewood controlled the game since.
14-0 run right after the first miscue, and then me saying how Orleans looks like the more scrappier team, and then Edgewood out-scrappies them for the next 5-6 minutes, basically putting Orleans at an arm's distance since the four-minute mark of the first quarter. But if there's one thing we've noticed is that this should be a bigger lead for Edgewood than it actually is. It definitely feels like that way, that Edgewood dominated that thing, but it only being a 14-point game has to give you a lot of confidence if you're the Bulldogs. Now, if you're Edgewood, you definitely want to basically put the pedal to the metal here to start this second half.
Edgewood really controlled the game from the outset, points off turnovers, a lot of deflections, a lot of just in-your-face defense. Sean Sims picked up 3 fouls, though he is back in the game as we start quarter number 3. for the Mustangs.
And as good as Edgewood was in that first half, something they need to work on very much is their defensive rebounding, because there was way too many offensive rebounds by the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs, one thing that as we mentioned in the first half, their offensive rebounding kept them in this game. And there's a prime example. Elrod missed the shot. Justin
There was
Troutman with the
nobody
finish.
in the paint, boxed out, and just drive right into thing. That's going to need to tighten up.
Here is Edgewood, Sims, or Hunenlocker back to Jurgis. Troutman tries to knock it away. Ringler, guarded by Xavier Brooks, gets up a shot, no good. Rebound, Josh Ray. This is what Orleans wants from Edgewood, some empty possessions to start the second half. Troutman, Jurgis just left him, but he did not hit the shot. Now it's a fast break and an easy two for Henry Doring. (33-19) Mustangs lead. Troutman gets it to Ray, to Brooks. Ringler takes it away. There's a pass inside Huntenlocker. Blocked, and then he gets it back, and he's in double digits. So 35-19. Elrod gets it to Troutman. Edgewood working it around, or Orleans working it around. Brooks can't get the finish, and he gets the steal.
Could argue another offensive rebound.
Ray flying through the lane, and he scores, and this lead is to 14. Sims against Elrod, and Sims is going to get called for the travel. Didn't agree with that one.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a delayed whistle, I think, led to the confusion, because it was more of on the he stepped back. He did a step back before dribbling, not the then driving.
There's the Josh Ray, Elrod. Inside, through traffic, no. Troutman just misses everything. Way too strong on the putback. Sims' three is good.
And that's one way to not make the whole battle of the boards matter. But as of right now, that's already 3 offensive rebounds for the Bulldogs here in this in this third quarter.
Elrod can't get it to go. Another offensive rebound, misses again, and Edgewood with the defensive rebound, and Doring gets fouled and will get to go to the line. So Elrod with the foul. That's his first. We'll send Henry Doring to the line. He's got 8 points tonight. 6'1" sophomore for the Mustangs. Now we will see Bryce Burning back in for Orleans, replacing Love. One more for Doring is good. 39-21, 40-21, Mustangs lead. Orleans doesn't seem to be playing with that sense of urgency. They're still working it around for a good shot. And they're going to get Sean Sims for his 4th foul. And Tate Hall, number 10, is going to check in for Orleans, replacing Xavier Brooks. There is Ray, misses everything. Elrod offensive rebound. Burning shot, no good. Landon Ringler with the rebound. Here come the Mustangs. Sean Sims, 3 from the wing, is off. George is in the air, passes it to Ringler, and it goes out of bounds and will be Orleans' ball. That was impressive from George as he got that ball in midair and was able to pass it away. Jurgis misses the shot, out of bounds, Orleans' ball. Approaching 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Ray in traffic, puts it up and scores. And it's a foul on. We're going to get Justin Troutman, his 3rd, team 2nd. Working it around. Doring. Gets it to Sims to Ringler. And they're going to call a 3-second violation on Landon Ringler. Xavier Brooks back in the game, replacing Justin Troutman. Just under a minute and a half to go here in quarter number 3. Edgewood in control. Ray knocked out of bounds, will be Orleans' ball. Ringler touched it last. Elrod inside, another offensive rebound for Orleans, but on last touch by the Bulldogs will be Edgewood ball.
I love the up and under attempt, though.
Yeah, Orleans not giving up, that's for sure. They keep playing hard. Just Edgewood is just taking control of this game. Although they're getting a little sloppy here as Ringler loses it out of bounds. It'll be the Bulldogs' ball. Josh Ray able to score. He's got 6 in this quarter, lead is 15.
Yeah, he's been really good here after halftime.
He has 9 points. There's Ringler. Sims gonna fire. No good. Ringler, rebound and put back. That's what you want to see from Edgewood offensively. That one is no good. Edgewood will go the 4th quarter leading 42-25 on Smithfield Sports.
You want reliable internet from a company you can trust to be there for you 24/7. Look no further than Smithville. With our local customer service and technical support, you'll be speaking with someone who lives and works in your community. And with Smithville's fibre optic internet, your connection will be fast, reliable and secure. Call us today at 800 742 4084 to experience the Smithville difference yourself. Smithville, the only internet you'll ever need.
As we welcome you back to the Mustang Corral here at Edgewood High School, you see Brad Moorhead and his Edgewood JV squad on top of Orleans 42-25 as we get ready to start the fourth quarter of play. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang basketball on Smithville Sports alongside Quinn Saturday. I am Nick Jenkinson. Quinn, it's been all Edgewood in this game so far, and it's been done in a variety of ways.
Yeah, they've been able to limit their mistakes, been able to get the best of their shot opportunities. I want to mention Orleans had 7 offensive rebounds in that quarter, yet it didn't matter. Edgewood still outscored them in the quarter.
Yeah, 11-8 in the quarter. They outscored them 16-4 in the first, 15-13 in the second. Connor Baker back in. He gets that basket to go.
Now, as I said, that this is obviously something that I would probably want to work for, teaching these young players throughout the rest of the season and then into the off season, because again, it has been very noticeable, just how many offensive rebounds. And granted, Orleans isn't getting the best of shots and thus have kind of launched shots that are more likely to get offensive rebound, but you still want to see a better boxing out. That's right there. That was a good box out right there.
As Ringler not able to, or Doreen not able to touch last by Orleans. Intended pass for Doreen. There is the inbounds. Working it around. Jurgis with it. Gets it to Robinson. Or to Ringler, Ringler inside, able to get it through traffic. He's got 8. (44-27) Mustangs in control.
Oh,
Baker can't handle the pass. Here's Doring. He's going to just take it himself. Can't finish. Ray with the rebound. Love gets fouled and will go to the line. They're going to get Ringler for the foul, his first and the team's second. Going to send Blake Love to the line, 5'11", freshman, 2 points tonight for the Bulldogs. And he gets that one. 44-28.
Both teams still have 4 timeouts. If Orleans can go on a bit of a run here, this game isn't over.
Love gets both. Oh, there's always that hope. It's never over till the horn sounds.
But all the formula for the comeback has been here the entire time. Basically not be the rebounding edge going to the Bulldogs. But if I'm Edgewood right here, want to play a little keep away and make the most of when you do get those second chance opportunities like you do right there.
That's Doring for 3. He's in double figures. Lead back to 18. Xavier Brooks, number 4 for Orleans. Shot good for Brooks inside, his first 2 of the night.
Finally was able to get that runner to go.
He struggled with that all game, but he's finally able to score his first 2 of the night. Lead is 16. Ringler to Doring.
And it's kind of funny. I know the runner has been around for a long time, but I feel like it has jumped in popularity ever since the end of the end of the 2000, like the 2008, 2009, when Dwayne Wade made it a huge part of his arsenal. I feel like since then, I mean, like I said, I know it's been around for a long time, but I definitely feel like an influx of it has been going on, and just how useful it is to be able, especially in a game now where there's a lot more three-point shooting, to be able to drive and shoot in one motion is very helpful.
There is a basket for Blake Love. Lead is now cut to 14. Ringler gets it out to Doring. Just under 3.5 to go. Doring through the lane, no good. Offensive rebound, that is key for Edgewood. They will reset. Doring wide open, in and out. Ringler offensive rebound, a lot of contact, no call. Now a technical foul is going to be called. And they're going to get Landon Ringler for the technical foul. That's going to count as a personal. Now the official going over to Coach Moorhead to let him know what the technical was about. He wasn't happy that there was a lot of contact down here and didn't get the call.
And usually those are the types of calls where it's been building all game. Usually a ref isn't going to respond to just one disagreement. It's usually a series of disagreements.
So Ray with the technical foul shot. They're going to bring in a sub here at the next dead ball, and he misses that one, and now it will be Nick McCullough, 42, checking in for Landon Ringler. Interesting to note that the freshman team played before this game. They played Hamilton Heights, lost 48-42. McCullough's on the freshman team. So I'm wondering if that same rule of quarters applies to the freshmen as well, as Jurgis able to score between freshman and JV since they played the same day. Normally they'll play the same time, but they were playing a different team. So 15-point lead for the Mustangs. Ringler out of the game, and always a smart move after you get the technical to get your player out of the game, cool him off, and let him have a few minutes to regroup himself. Jump ball. As Burning's back in, replacing Tate Hall for Orleans. While we have a minute, we want to thank our crew, the hardworking women and men. Behind the scenes, our technical director is Rob Ramsey. Replays Nate Alarcon. You and I doing commentary, camera crew Noah Baraja, Sam Malloy, and Nanette Bruner. We thank you for all that you do throughout tonight and throughout the season behind the scenes, and couldn't do it without you. Don't forget, we're on YouTube, youtube.com/Smithfield Media. You can search Smithfield Media and subscribe to the Smithfield Media channel on YouTube. McCullough with the rebound. He gets fouled and will go to the line.
I have to give huge props to Edgewood here in this fourth quarter. I like to believe that I'm giving constructive criticism, but in a way I've kind of been calling out the fact that Edgewood hasn't been doing well on the boards, but they have definitely, especially after that third quarter, have dominated the boards in this quarter. Huge props to them for stepping up here, especially when I said, it's when it was like a 13, 14-point game, things could start sliding in the other way. They have taken control right here.
McCullough misses both. That's one thing Coach Moorhead definitely had to preach to his team at halftime is rebounding and offensive rebounding. And that will be a foul on Webb as Love will go to the line. So Blake Love at the line. He's got 6, 5'11" freshman. (49-35). Now we'll see Grant Qualkenbush in the game for Orleans, along with Micah Evans. Qualkenbush, number 15, Evans, 21. One more for Love, and he gets that one to go. 49-36. So a minute 43 to go here. Again, Varsity will follow. 20 minutes after the conclusion of this one. It's a long homestand for the Mustangs. Have Northview Tuesday night and then Mitchell next Friday night. That should be senior night. That will be our next broadcast, as well as hard to believe that the season winds down, Quinn. It just seems like yesterday we just got it going, and here we are 2 weeks out from the regular season ending.
Yeah, it always seems to go by so fast, but we got an interesting state tournament, and you know the playoffs are coming. So I mean, and it's a very interesting year as well. So many different great teams and great players, as we kind of talked about all season. Kind of a huge influx and kind of like a golden age of talent here, especially in the junior class.
Yeah, it seems like this year right now the South is actually all 4 number 1 teams in each class hail from the southern part of the state. Bloomington South, the number 1 team in 4A and undefeated at 20-0. Silver Creek, number 1 in 3A. You've got Linton, number 1 in 2A, and you've got the number 1 team in 1A, which is undefeated, Greenwood Christian. Greenwood Christian and Bloomington South, the only 2 undefeated teams left on the boys' side. You had 3 on the girls' side that are competing in girls' regionals. Northwestern and Triton Central both won today, but Crown Point got beat by Penn in the LaPorte Regional this morning. Crown Point was undefeated, actually had a long regular season winning streak too. As well, got to give a shout out to the Linton Lady Miners. They won their sectional or regional game today against Evansville Mater Dei. They will play Eastern Pekin tonight in their regional game as well. Also, Bedford North Lawrence today beat Evansville North. So those are the 2 area teams competing for regional girls championships tonight across the state of Indiana, as Edgewood wins this one 49-36. And we look at the highlights, and it's a lot of offensive rebounding from Orleans and putbacks. Nice move to the hole by Josh Ray. Edgewood, though, gets it done from the outside a little bit with Sean Sims. Orleans loves to drive it to the hole. Sean Sims knocks down or misses. Landon Ringler, as you said, offensive rebound key in that 4th quarter. Henry Doring drills it from 3. And then defense leads the offense. Beautiful pass from Doring to Aiden Jurgis as Edgewood wins 49-36. For all the hardworking women and men behind the scenes, for my partner Quinn Saturday, I am Nick Jenkinson. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in 20 minutes for the varsity game on Smithville Sports. as we welcome you to the Mustang Corral here at Edgewood High School, Ellettsville, Indiana. It is the Orleans Bulldogs you see on your screen. 7-12 come in to face the 9-10 Edgewood Mustangs. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang basketball on Smithville Sports alongside Quinn Saturday. I am Nick Jenkinson. Quinn, Edgewood was without Trevor Taylor until the start of January, but since he has come back, he has led this team with 159 points, averaging 17.7 through 9 games.
It's like, he's been a very welcome addition to this Edgewood team. Been able to step right in, really help Coleman Sater with an outside-inside game, really giving him a little bit of extra space down low with Taylor's three-point shot. And I still feel like the best is yet to come because he's got fresher legs than a lot of other players at this point. We could see him be able to step up his game to another level, possibly as we get down this final stretch of the regular season.
You see Trevor Taylor on your screen wearing the number 3. Since he's come back, Edgewood went 5-0 to start the campaign, but they've lost 4 in a row, including a 68-41 home loss here against Bloomington North, as we are about to get ready here for
but let's also say that Bloomington North is also 17-4 on the year, so it's not a shameful loss at all.
Also Bloomington North also fresh off a win last night at Terre Haute North, as well as the horn gets ready to sound, and we will pause for the national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you will, please rise for our Star Spangled Banner.
The national anthem has been played. Now we look at the starting lineups. We'll look at the Orleans Bulldogs, and they will start with at forward John Love, number 21, 6'1" senior. Keegan Schaller is in the middle, 6'3" senior, wearing number 24. Devin Martin is at number 3, 5'11" junior. Gavin Morgan, number 5, 5'11" junior. And then Griffin Deckard, 6'1" junior. Tom Bradley, 323 wins, 181 losses, 21st year at the school, 9 sectional titles, a regional title, and 9 Patoka Lake Conference Championship, 15 winning seasons. He told me before the game that they've got so many close games this year, but they just can't seem to finish when it comes to the end of the game. As you see the Bulldogs introduced, always a good conversation with Tom Bradley as well. As we look at the Edgewood Mustangs, and it's been the starting lineup that they've started with for the last several games. They're going to go with Trevor Taylor, 6'3" junior, who's been back since January after his suspension the first half of the season. Sam Keto, 5'6" junior, wearing senior wearing number 12. Derek Farkas, as well, a 6-foot
Parker Harrington.
Junior Parker Harrington, as well, 6'4" senior.
Coleman
and then Coleman Sater, the junior 6'4" wearing number 5, as Matt Wadsworth, 9 and 10 in his first year at the school, 150 and 138 in 13 years at the school. Coached Whiteland the last 7 seasons, coached North Posey for 4, and then Riverton Park 1 season. We saw Coach Wadsworth, Whiteland's former squad, Whiteland, last Saturday against Bloomington North, where the Cougars beat them at home by 20 behind a 36-point performance from Nick Kleiber. As the Cougars mentioned, won last night against Terre Haute North. On the road, Cougars and Panthers off tonight. Edgewood, the only team in the county in action tonight, and we are underway. As Devin Martin will control it. Bulldogs average 50.7, give up 48.4 a game. So again, Edgewood coming out defensively, not giving Orleans any room so far. But there's the inside pass to Schaller, no good. Taylor with the rebound. Harrington to Keto, to Taylor, to Sater, back to Trevor, toes the line, Harrington, to Taylor, saves it, Farkas good, pass, Harrington, no good, ball tapped around, on the floor, ball's loose, jump ball. It is Edgewood ball. Sam Keto will inbound.
It's really great defense by Orleans to basically just not give Edgewood a good shot opportunity. Finally able to find something at the top of the key, but that one wasn't able to get in.
There is Trevor Taylor, and he gets Edgewood on the board.
And that's why he's so special, is because he literally can just create his own shot, get his own bucket.
Has scored double figures in all 9 games. Did not start his return game against Sullivan, but been back in the starting lineup ever since.
Personal foul, number 14. Farkas.
They're going to get Derek Farkas for the foul, his first.
Deckard is shooting 2.
This is Griffin Deckard at the line for the Bulldogs. He hits the first on the season, 63% at the line, 44 for 69 coming in tonight. Orleans as a team, 67% from the line, 160 for 237. Deckard averages 10.1 a game. Only other player in double figures is Devin Martin, right at 10.2. So tied at 2 between these two. And in the passing lane immediately is Deckard. And Orleans will get the ball.
Personal foul, number 5, Sater.
First foul on Sater, team second. Edgewood going to show the pressure now, full court. There is Schaller. Moving the ball. There's a shot up. It is short. Schaller the rebound and the putback.
Basket, Schaller.
We talked about in the JV game, that offensive rebounding ability Bulldogs did in the JV game despite the loss. And right now we're seeing it right here.
That is a foul on Orleans.
Personal foul, number 21, Love.
They're going to get Love with his first and the team's first. We're going to get John Love again for the foul, where the ball could even be inbounded. And now Orleans got to go right to the bench and get Duncan King in the game, replacing John Love.
I know this is cheating, but that's 2 fouls in 0 seconds.
That's quite a stat, quite an accomplishment with the clock not even running, because it was before the ball was even inbounded. Trevor Taylor can't finish the shot, he's going to get called for over the back.
Personal foul number 3, Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor is a very imposing figure on the boards, but you can already tell that the refs are going to be calling this game a little tight tonight, so you got to adjust.
Always a tough one. There's the loose ball. Here is Farkas driving to the basket and scoring.
Basket by Farkas.
We always seem to talk about this with Edgewood players, that you get on varsity by shooting threes, and then you become a starter by being able to do all the other things. And Farkas is just the latest in another line of players who got some playing time on varsity as a three-point shooter, but has now shown a more complete game this season.
Averages 8.4, 7 games in double figures. Best game 25 against Martinsville, second game of the season. Schaller against Harrington, and he gets his fourth point with a good basket over Parker. Schaller comes in averaging 4.7 a game. Here is Farkas, loses the handle. They're going to say Orleans touched it last. Coach Bradley doesn't agree. Neither does the Orleans fans, and it will be Edgewood ball. Here's Trevor. And they're going to call Schaller for the foul.
Personal foul number 24, Schaller.
His first, the team's third. Edgewood will have it out of bounds. Keto to inbound it. Taylor. Sater posting up. He's going to feed Sater. In the lane. Felt like King got all ball, but they're going to call the foul.
He got the wrist. That was a good call on that. I definitely feel like that the Bulldogs crowd does not like these refs already. And I mean, it's this very passionate fan base on both sides. Great job traveling to this game. This is going to be a very emotional game, I could tell, because as I said, both teams very scrappy. We mentioned it in the JV contest. This is going to be a good one.
Sater hits both, 6-6. Orleans located in Orange County, just off.
And I may be wrong, but I feel like that was the first time Sater got the ball at all on any offensive possession.
Yeah, it was. He's not been able to touch it. Schaller just takes Farkas out of the way and scores. He's got 6.
Schaller only averaging a little under 5 points per game, really finding a matchup that he can abuse right here, and has been excellent here in the first quarter.
Bad pass by Edgewood. Here's Devin Martin, who's actually called for that last foul. They're working it around. Deckard, Martin. One thing that Orleans has been able to do more, they used to be more of a half-court team. They're able to run a little bit more. As here's the outside shot for Deckard, no good. Rebound, and Schaller is on a tear with 8 points.
I don't know what it is about the matchup, but he's really taking advantage of Parker Harrington down low on the baseline. As Sater looks like he's starting to get going.
Sater's got 4. Averages 16.7 a game. Taylor can't hang on to it. It's going to be Orleans ball. Zeke Powell will check into the game for Edgewood, replacing Parker Harrington.
First of all, Harrington needs a breather from Schaller. It's been a very tough matchup here. Be able to regroup himself, try out some different throws at him. He's wide open right there.
Powell does not get the closeout, but he can't finish. There's Keto. Now Edgewood will set up. Sater to Farkas. To Taylor. Work it to Sater. Taylor. Sater's going to give the screen. Taylor, three. Short. Sater rebounds. Taylor cuts to the basket and finishes.
Basket by Taylor.
Just excellent recognition by Sater. And that is two players who have played a lot of basketball together, just knowing where each other is on the court.
Yeah, they have. You've talked about this junior class around the state, and these are two guys that, especially in this area of the state, have been noticed for their play.
That was good closeout defense by Devin Martin.
There is Taylor, and he nothing but net. He's got 6. Edgewood leads 2 by 2. Now the full court pressure.
You gotta watch out for the 10.
Martin gets it across. There is a shot. It is short, tapped around. King with it. Gets it to Deckard, and now Martin will reset. Guarded by Sater. There's Farkas gonna tip it, or knock it away. 1-on-1, and it's offensive foul for Derek Farkas.
Sometimes you can take advantage of a player having like a bit of a race confidence from getting that steal, thinking that they can get away with a little bit of a bump, and it made him pay.
And Deckard can't finish, but there is the putback.
Basket number 5, Morgan.
By Gavin Morgan, his first 2 of the game, and we're tied at 12. Taylor gets it to Powell. To Farkas. Coach Wadsworth wants one shot here with 15 seconds to go, and then it goes into the hands of Trevor Taylor. Now to Powell, to Keto, back to Taylor with 5. In the lane and kick it out. Keto's got a fire at the buzzer, and he nails it. Sam Keto with the 3 at the buzzer, and Edgewood leads 15-12 at the end of the first quarter here on Smithville Sports.
Smithville Media has produced stunning and engaging features and documentaries for over a decade. Local interest stories, interviews, commercials, and event coverage are all part of what we do. Let us showcase your business or create a commercial for your promotions. We can even play your pieces during our live sports broadcasts. For details, speak with a Smithville representative or email media@smithville.com.
As we welcome you back, you see Coach Matt Wadsworth with the Edgewood Mustangs. The Mustangs lead Orleans 15-12 after 1 quarter of play. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang basketball on Smithville Sports. Alongside Quinn Saturday, I am Nick Jameson. Well, Quinn, the Mustangs lead for the 10th time this season after the first quarter, and it's Sam Keto breaks the drought. As you said earlier, Edgewood Mustangs players love to shoot threes, and Sam Keto shows why with the 3 at the buzzer to end the first quarter.
Ironically, I had also said that an Edgewood game doesn't start until they make a 3, and of course it happens right at the end of the first quarter.
And that's the first 3 either team has made tonight.
But I have to give a ton of credit to Taylor on that. He was one-on-one isolation, and usually that kind of situation, you don't really have like the wherewithal to kind of look at that. You're just trying to basically beat your man, and he had enough space to take like a fadeaway jumper at the buzzer, but he saw Keto in the corner and threw an excellent pass over there. Keto was just able to get it off before the buzzer. An unselfish move that has Edgewood leading here as we start the second quarter.
Number 4 into the game, Wyatt Hopper, 6-foot senior for Orleans. In the lane, no good. Shot for Griffin Deckard. Here comes Edgewood. Zeke Powell has it. Gets it to Sam Keto, to Trevor Taylor, also Sean Sims in the game, wearing number 23 along with Coleman Sater. 5 out on the floor for the Mustangs. Foul on the floor. Gonna get Griffin Deckard, his first, team's 5th.
Personal foul, number 10, Deckard.
Taylor will inbound. Gets it to Powell, inside, can't finish. Morgan with the rebound. There's a outside 3, no good for Morgan. Sater, bounce pass, Powell, and he finishes.
Basket by Powell.
17-12, lead is now 5. 5-0 run for the Mustangs.
Definitely feel like the advantage is starting to go towards Edgewood's way.
Deckard, shot short, Powell with the rebound.
It's a couple times now where they've been a little short on these shots.
And he finds Coleman Sater underneath, and Tom Bradley has had enough
It is a 30-second
as he
timeout.
calls a 30-second timeout. Well, this rivalry dates back to 2009 between these two teams. Edgewood leads this series 7-4. Edgewood's won these last 4 meetings. Last time the Bulldogs won here was February 8th, 2014, 49-44. And then they also won February 7th, 2015, down in Orleans, 53-29. And I remember that game going down there. Edgewood just did not show up that night. Orleans always a tough place to play, just a small 1A school, but they, like you said, a very passionate fan base, located in Orange County, just north of Paoli, just off State Road 37, so not a bad trip, just about 50-minute trip here from Orleans to Edgewood.
When it comes to high school basketball, you know, like, size of the school doesn't matter. The quality of players is not dictated by the size of the school.
Orleans has definitely had some talented players throughout the years, well-coached teams. Coach Bradley, an Orleans grad himself, also has had stops at Paoli and Southwestern Shelbyville, as he's always a good conversation before the game, always gracious enough to give a few minutes to give insight to how his team is throughout the season. As there's the outside shot by Brayton Clip into the game wearing number 11.
Clip averaging 3.5 points on the season. Nice spark here right at the timeout. Help kind of settle things down a little bit. Oh, that was a nice little screen and roll that Taylor missed the opportunity to throw out to Harrington for the 3.
Personal foul, number 3, Martin.
They're going to get Devin Martin for the foul, his second.
Taylor with 2 free throws.
Trevor Taylor at the line, 83% free throw shooter, 159 points in 9 games since coming back. He gets that one to go.
Bulldog substitutions, number 5, Morgan, number 15, King.
Mustangs on the season, 74% coming into the night from the foul line. Taylor hits both, 21-15. Dane Elrod, 23 in the game for the Bulldogs. Duncan King is 15. Gavin Morgan's in the game wearing number 5. There is Morgan. Misses it. Sater with the rebound. He's got to watch it. Morgan's trailing. Harrington going to fire from the wing off the mark. And Deckard with the rebound. Clip. Morgan. Elrod going to be Deckard guarded by Taylor. There is Morgan. There's Clip. You can tell Orleans working for the good shot. Wide open and nails the three. Griffin Deckard. Lead is cut to 3.
Deckard, second leading scorer on this team at 10.1. And honestly, you could say a co-leading scorer because the one ahead of him is Devin Martin at 10.2.
Yeah, 1A, 1B pretty much between Deckard and Martin. Sater gets fouled, will go to the line.
Number 23, foul number 23, Elrod.
That's on Elrod, his first.
Sater shooting 2 free
Team's
throws.
7th. In the 1-and-1 is Edgewood, and it's Coleman Sater at the line.
Substitutions.
We're going to see Farkas and
Number
Keto
24,
back
Scholar
in.
for the Bulldogs.
Keegan Schaller coming back in for
14,
Orleans.
for the Mustangs.
You know, the evolution of Coleman Sater from freshman to now has been remarkable.
It absolutely has become such an amazing basketball player. His sophomore season was such a breakout, kind of like wondering, who is this guy? And he's just continued to do it into his junior season, really showcasing himself as yet again another great player of this junior class.
Primarily in the freshman season, he was mainly a JV player, but got some time at varsity, and then his sophomore season, like you said, along with Trevor Taylor, has basically been the 1-2 punch for Edgewood for the last 2 years.
The thing about Sater that is so dangerous is that he's a rhythm player. So when he gets, once he starts, you want to try to shut him out as much as possible, because once he starts going, he becomes like a force to be reckoned with that is just really hard to stop.
Sater hits that one, 75% from the line coming into tonight. He missed the Indian Creek game because of illness, but he has started and played in all 19 games he has appeared in this season. Edgewood's had a lot of different starting lineups, but the one consistency in their starting lineups has been Sater, Farkas, Harrington, and Keto, and now you add Taylor back into the mix. When Taylor was out, you saw a variety of different lineups. Zeke Powell got some time. Chase Utley, who's no longer with the team, got time. Logan Slayball. Sean Sims gonna fire a 3, and it's good.
Basket, Sims.
So Coach Wadsworth has used a lot of different lineups, but now he's got a lineup he can stick with. Duncan King, shot over Harrington, is good. Lead is just 5 for Edgewood. Farkas left it short. Schaller with the rebound. There is a shot for Clip. He is fouled and will go to the line.
Personal foul, number 23, Sims.
This is Sean Sims' first.
Clip with 2 free throws.
Clip at the line. And he misses that one.
Substitution number 3, Taylor, replacing Keto.
Trevor Taylor back in for Sam Keto. One more for Clip, and he gets that one. We're going to see Wyatt Hopper back in the game, replacing Clip. It's all juniors and seniors for Orleans. Always a tough, just always just a scrappy team, undersized, but loves to shoot. There is Farkas, and it's blocked by Morgan. And now Coach Bradley says to slow it down. This is a wild shot by Deckard. Not what he wanted. Trevor Taylor can't finish. Schaller with the rebound.
And the reason why isn't necessarily to run off clock, it's so that you're able to play under control. We just saw right there where Taylor really just took it to the basket and there wasn't really much of a plan.
Schaller
It's like, hope I make it.
Schaller called for the travel. He just backed Sater down. Got called for steps. So a minute and a half to go here for halftime. We'll have a great halftime feature for you. A very quiet Edgewood student section, but as you see, the guys are trying to take our jobs again, Quinn, with the Sports Center, the ESPN Sports Center in the house.
I know. They've been trying now for how many years?
It seems like it's at least once every year that we're doing a game as Sater finishes.
By Sater.
So they're enjoying themselves, of course, as Edgewood's up 6, under a minute to go. Schaller to Taylor. Gets it to Farkas. There's Sater. He has Sims up ahead. And he's going to kick it out. Farkas wide open. No good. Parker Harrington grabs the rebound but can't hang on to it. And now Coach Bradley's telling Griffin Deckard one shot. Down 6 with 20 seconds to go. Deckard loses it and just loses it out of bounds. Slipped and it's Edgewood ball. 3.9 to go.
Substitution, number 11, Clip.
And you can't let that turnover bother you. You got to stop on this possession if you're the Bulldogs.
Deckard.
Clip will come in. Deckard goes out. Here we go. Trevor Taylor stops and fires it off the mark, but Edgewood's going to go in with a 21-27 lead as we see the highlights. Trevor Taylor does what Trevor Taylor does, goes to the basket. He's got 8 points. Keegan Schaller worked inside, 8 first quarter points. As you see, Edgewood had no answer for that, and then Trevor Taylor, the nice finish and one. Stops Pops has the mid-range game as well. Sam Keto hits the 3 at the first quarter buzzer to put Edgewood on top, and then outside shot for Griffin Deckard. Sean Sims answers for Edgewood. We're at halftime. Mustangs 27, Bulldogs 21 on Smithville Sports.
No trip to Bloomington is complete without some great food. And what better way to satisfy a sweet tooth than with some ice cream? And that's why we're at the Chocolate Mousse.
My name is Jordan Davis. I'm the general manager. I kind of oversee our operations here at our downtown Bloomington store, our Nashville store, as well as all the events and wholesale that we do. We started in 1933 as Maze Cafe. It was a restaurant. They started to make their own frozen custard and realized that that was where they were making their money, and they could just do that a lot easier. So in 1955, Doran May, whose dad EJ, he built the stand in the parking lot, named it the Penguin, and just took off from there. Doran had a manager who he allowed to kind of franchised out, and he opened a few Penguins, actually. The guy was just ruining the brand and running the place really into the ground. So Doran bought it back from him. And whenever he purchased back the company, the guy tried to get it, being like, oh, well, you have to pay me for the name of the penguin too. And Dorn just said, I'll just call it something else. They were brainstorming after the whole penguin debacle. Somebody had said the name the chocolate mousse, and they go, you know what? I like that. Let's go with it. It's definitely helped us because it gives us a lot of opportunities with branding and everything, because who doesn't love a little cartoon moose licking its lips? We had to move into the new location because the landowner, Doran May, he had decided that it was time to move on, and he was getting up there in years and just sold the property, and the developers decided it would be best used in the capacity that is now, so we just had to kind of go with it and make the best out of it, but it's really worked out. When it comes to the ice cream though, it's the same. It's still made in Bloomington. It's still 14% butterfat. It's the same, quality product we were serving in the stand and before that. So nothing's changed with the ice cream. So we have about 20 regular ice creams that we make. Those are all the 14% butterfat homemade ice cream, like hard pack, that we're known for. We also make 6 vegan varieties though. Those are all made with coconut milk. The community's really taken a liking to those, and it's not just vegan people, it's just those that are lactose intolerant, or people that are like the idea of, oh yeah, strawberry with coconut milk, that sounds, pretty good, and it is. We do a lot of things at the Chocolate Mousse besides just ice cream. We've always been known for our Spanish burgers since the 50s. We just recently added like a turkey pesto sandwich, a chicken sour croissant, our breakfast sandwiches, as I mentioned earlier. Now we have a full coffee menu with like chai lattes, flat whites, Americanos, lattes, frappes, you name it. We work with local roasters, Brown County Coffee, so we have a really good local product that we're serving. There's quite a bit you can get besides ice cream with the Chocolate Mousse.
So I'm sitting down here with Jordan here at the Chocolate Mousse. Now, Jordan, what do we have here in front of us?
So we have a ham, egg, and cheese croissant, which is something we just started doing recently. And then we have a 24-ounce caramel frappe.
I'm going for a bite here.
I'm jealous for you right now.
This is really good. The ham is the star of this sandwich. Very fresh, very tender. It's not very chewy like a lot of hams out there. Kind of just melts in your mouth a little bit. Let's try it. Better than Starbucks. Better than Starbucks. The caramel shines here. Nice and creamy. Kind of tastes just like coffee ice cream. I don't know, but it's a frappe. It's very good. Enjoy it.
Sweet. Yeah, glad you like it, man.
Yeah. So we're back, and we have ice cream now, the bread and butter of the Chocolate Mousse. Now, Jordan, what flavors do we have here?
So I have 2 cups of ice cream here. Over here we have our vegan ice cream. We have vegan grasshopper and vegan chocolate. They're both coconut milk based. Wanted to give you an opportunity to try those. And then over here we have the full diesel 14% butter fat. On top here we have our apple butter. We have a donut ice cream where we work locally with Crescent Donut, which
nice.
you know Bloomington, you know
yeah.
Crescent Donut. And then we have our Lucky Guy Mint Brownie. We really like to work with other local companies and just help each other thrive. So I figured instead of bringing out here Grasshopper, or, Brown County Coffee, or some of our most popular staples, I'd give you some of our kind of out there seasonals to try, because a lot of people don't know we have them.
It's really refreshing, the mint. Well, first of all, you get the coconut. That's the first thing that I tasted. Then the mint. And lastly, the chocolate from the Oreo. And finally, the cream. The creamy bits from the Oreos. Not getting much of the coconut, but a lot of the chocolate. It's very chocolatey, and the coconut has that, it's kind of like an undertone, which complements the chocolate quite nicely, I have to say. All right, so let's move on to the 14% butter fat.
Yeah.
All right, so let me just go ahead and try it. I'm getting some spices. I think is the cinnamon.
Yeah.
The butter is very prevalent. The apple is very subtle,
Yeah.
and the spices really shine. It kind of just reminds you of like fall, kind of like a fall pie, which is very good because I love pie. You're right. The first thing is just the glazing,
Yeah.
and then it's kind of like the texture is kind of like the inside of a donut. I don't know if that's weird to say. It's just kind of like very soft and melts in your mouth like a good donut would.
Yeah.
The first thing I get is the chocolate and the mint together. It's kind of different from the vegan one where the mint was like the most prevalent. But this is just a nice duo of the chocolate and the mint.
I think it all starts with just having a quality product. If you don't have a quality product, you're not going to go back to the place. And I think the chocolate mousse it's been its longevity. It's the nostalgia to it and just what it means to people that they went here as a kid and, got this from the penguin or got this from the chocolate mousse, depending on how old they are, and their kids get to come in and experience the same thing. We like to think that if you think of Bloomington and your IU experience or your experience coming to Bloomington or living in Bloomington, that chocolate mousse is, one of the first memories you have. Just because, everybody has a favorite ice cream shop, and when it comes to Bloomington, that's us, or we like to think so. Come by and see us at 7 a.m. till 11 p.m. Monday through Friday. Saturday we open a little later at 8 a.m. and go until 11 p.m. and then Sunday is 10 a.m. until 11 p.m.
We welcome you back to the Mustang Corral here at Edgewood High School, Ellettsville, Indiana, as the Mustangs lead the Orleans Bulldogs 27-21 as we start the second half of play. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang basketball on Smithfield Sports alongside Quinn Saturday. I am Nick Jenkinson. Quinn, Edgewood 7-1 when they lead at the half, and right now it's behind 9 from Coleman Sater and 8 from Trevor Taylor.
Yeah, excellent job by both of them.
Ticket for the
Taylor really propped things up in that first quarter, and then near the end of it, and then into the second quarter, Sater kind of took the baton from him.
Opens at 5:30.
And you could just tell kind of the way that they play with each other, that there is a definite chemistry between them from having played long together. And next season should be some of the best to finally get everything, all together with a full season around it. Next season could be special for Edgewood and both of their senior season. But got to think about this season right now. Get back to 500 at 9-10, facing an Orleans team that's kept it close, but as you mentioned, has had some troubles in some close games.
Had several close games this year and have not been able to finish. As there is Devin Martin, one of the leading scorers on this team, Quinn, and that's his first 2 of the game. So Martin scores. It's a 4-point lead for Edgewood. There is Sater going to the basket, and Sater is now in double figures with 11.
You were mentioning on the other side, Martin got his first basket. Deckert got his first basket very late into the second half as well. So both of them have been kind of shut out.
Sater can't find Taylor. Martin takes it away. 15th time that Sater has now gotten in double figures. He gets the rebound. He's had 3 double-doubles this season.
Wow.
And again, another turnover.
Basically tried to, that's that whole, let's try that again, but unfortunately it didn't work.
In and out for Martin. Farkas with the rebound. Here is Taylor. And gonna call it before the shot attempt.
Personal foul.
They're going to get Gavin Morgan his second. So Edgewood will have it out of bounds, leading by 6. It's the original starting 5 for Edgewood: Taylor, Keto, Harrington, Farkas, and Sater. There is Trevor Taylor to the basket, and he is now in double figures for the 10th.
I just want to say how ridiculous that was with the crossover and then turning away, and then as he's looking the other way, reverse layup off the glass. I hope that Sports Center crew over there got that, because that's a top play nominee.
Yeah, they can give Bristol a call on that play by Trevor Taylor. 10th time in his 10 games he's been in double figures this season. Devin Martin right to the basket. He's got 4.
Basket by Martin.
And Martin's looks like he's heating up a little bit, and his team is going to need him.
Taylor misses. Sater just gets the long rebound. Harrington, who has not been able to score yet. Taylor from downtown, no good. Rebounded to Morgan. Schaller, who's been quiet, had 8 in the first quarter. John Love back in after picking up those 2 quick fouls. Drives in the lane, can't finish. Schaller there for the rebound. Can't finish again. Ball tapped around, chased down by Griffin Deckard.
There were so many different things I wanted to talk about, but I've forgotten all of them just because it was just boom, 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 boom.
There's Deckard. In-air pass to Martin, no good. Sater with the rebound.
That would have been a huge 3 if he would have been able to make that.
And Trevor Taylor with the finish.
That's a 5-point swing.
Trevor Taylor now with 12 for the Mustangs. Averages 17.7. 22 is his highs at Bedford North Lawrence and at North Putnam. Also, he went over the 1,000-point mark for his scoring career against North Putnam in that WIC 7th place game in which the Cougars beat Edgewood 68-57. So Trevor Taylor over the 1,000-point mark, joins 5 other Mustangs: Garrett Butcher, Tom Stevens, Chad Pate, Levi Garner, and Brian Blackwell in the 1,000-point club here at Edgewood. Garrett Butcher, the all-time leading scorer in Monroe County, 1,820 points. 2008 Indiana All-Star, played on 2 national runner-up teams at Butler. Wyatt Hopper's in the game, replacing Gavin Morgan. Keto inside, Sater can't finish, and Love comes up with it. Orleans not going away, down 8. Love gets it to Clip. Gets it to Martin. Working it around. Hopper. Clip. Martin. Coach Wadsworth applauds the defense. Schaller gets it. Martin left in the corner, and he buries it.
Basket, Martin.
He's heating up with 7.
Yep. Got a second chance at that corner 3. This time he made it.
33-28, Edgewood leads.
Oh,
Farkas to Sater inside, and Sater.
that's something you don't want to do. If you're going to double someone, you better not have been guarding Coleman Sater, because leaving him open with that much space is just asking to be punished.
Sater punishes the Bulldogs. It's 4th point of the quarter. Clip for 3. Off the mark, Taylor with the rebound. He's going to push. Hopper's going to knock it away, but it's out of bounds and it stays with Edgewood.
Edgewood substitutions, number 4, Powell, number 23, Sims.
Zeke Powell and
Keto
Sean
and Harrington.
Sims come back in. Keto and Harrington go out. For the Mustangs. Gets it to Taylor. Farkas 3. Got it.
Basket by Farkas.
This is a really huge stretch right now. This is the largest lead of the game right now. Got to be careful if you're the Bulldogs. You need to have some smart possessions here. Can't let this get out of hand.
26th made 3 for Farkas on the season. Ball loose. Orleans recovers. Martin are going to call the foul inside.
Personal foul.
Or
number
call
4, Powell.
Zeke Powell with his first.
Substitutions for the Bulldogs.
Team's second.
Number 10, Deckard. Number 25, Connor Baker.
Connor Baker in the game for the first time. We saw him in the JV game. Mustangs up 10. Martin thought about it. Now offensive foul on
Moving
Orleans.
screens.
Personal foul.
We're going to
number
get
25,
Baker. His first, the team's third. Just under 2 to go here in quarter number 3. Trevor Taylor from the wing, short. Rebounded by John Love. Orleans wanted a foul. They won't get one. Deckard can't get it to go. There's Taylor going to race up the floor. Leaves it for Powell. Beautiful and 1.
Taylor again
Basket
with
by
an
Powell,
excellent
good.
job.
Personal foul, number 10, Deckard.
Instead of taking it to the basket himself and trying to make a tough layup,
Substitution number 15,
able to catch the defense off guard with a nice subtle pass,
10,
get the
Huttenlocker.
bucket,
Timeout.
and now
Taken by the Bulldogs.
Zeke
It is a
Powell
full
has a
timeout.
chance to push this to 13 and really put Orleans behind the 8 ball.
As the Bulldogs call a timeout, they have 3 remaining. Edgewood has all 5 remaining. As you see, Coach Wadworth. Well, while we have the chance, we want to take a minute to thank our crew, hardworking women and men behind the scenes. Rob Ramsey, our director, technical director, Nate Alarcon, replays. You and I doing commentary. Our camera crew of Noah Baraja, Sam Malloy, and Annette Bruner doing a great job. We thank you for everything that you do throughout basketball and football season. Hard to believe that 2 more after this. We will be back here Friday night for Edgewood and Mitchell. That will be senior night. Mitchell is 10-7. They come off a win at Lagodi last night, 48-46. They're at Brown County tonight. And then Edgewood will play on Tuesday against Northview here in the Corral before taking on the Blue Jackets. So you can join us for that. That is next Friday. So join us for that one. That will be a good one. Senior night here from the Corral, as we got 6 seniors on this Edgewood Mustang squad that will be honored. So Zeke Powell at the line. He's got 4 points. Of course, the state tournament draw 1 week from tomorrow. Edgewood will host their sectional as Powell hits the free throw. Should be a wide open sectional. as that's a foul underneath.
Personal foul number 23, Sims.
We're going to get Sean Sims for the foul. That's his second. Team's third. Baker, good pass inside, gets Taylor off his feet, and Gavin Morgan scores. 11-point lead.
That's one thing you can take advantage of Taylor, is that he is very athletic and very quick to respond, but if you're able to use that aggressiveness against him, like you were on that possession, as right there.
Caden Huntenlocker hits his first three of the game, and then the lead goes back up to 14. And then a beautiful pass from Baker inside the King, and he can't finish, and now it's lost out of bounds, and it's Edgewood ball. .25 seconds to go. Taylor's going to bring it up. And he's going to just take it right to the basket and go to the line.
Personal foul number 3, Martin.
Third on Martin. Fifth on the Bulldogs. Trevor Taylor at the line. Misses that one, his first free throw miss tonight, 2 of 3 at the line. And he will get that one. Zeke Powell took it away. Edgewood, Coach Wadsworth wants one shot. There's Taylor. Sean Sims, 3. Off the mark, and we go to the fourth quarter with Edgewood up 45-30 over Orleans on Smithville Sports.
You want reliable internet from a company you can trust to be there for you 24/7. Look no further than Smithville. With our local customer service and technical support, you'll be speaking with someone who lives and works in your community. And with Smithville's fibre optic internet, your connection will be fast, reliable and secure. Call us today at 800 742 4084 to experience the Smithville difference yourself. Smithville, the only internet you'll ever need.
We welcome you back to the Mustang Corral as Edgewood leads Orleans 45-30 here at the end of the third quarter. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang basketball. Again, one next Friday night. It's Mitchell at Edgewood. We will have that game for you here on Smithville Sports. Don't forget, we are on YouTube, youtube.com/Smithville Media. Search Smithville Media and subscribe to the Smithville Media channel on YouTube. And we thank all of you for tuning into Edgewood Mustang basketball. Again, I am Nick Jenkinson alongside Quinn Saturday. And Quinn, the pace of this third quarter kind of slowed down a little bit, but Edgewood's still in control with an 18-9 run in that third quarter.
We were mentioning it that Orleans kept it really close for a while, but then there was just this kind of moment there in the third quarter as we see another three-point attempt. An excellent job. Sater now at the 3. He hits that.
Basket by Sater.
Sater is capable of hitting those threes.
And basically, exactly what you just saw right there is what happened in the third quarter. Just Edgewood started to separate and make the little plays to continue moving forward. Now, Devin Martin definitely did get going in the third quarter to do his best to help the Bulldogs, but it definitely feels like time is not on their side right now.
10-3 of the season for Sater. Huntenlocker with that rebound for Edgewood, and now Edgewood is in control. Powell gets it to Taylor, gets it to Sater. Gets it to Huntenlocker. Sims in the game as well. Inside, beautiful bounce pass, but Taylor can't finish. And then Sims gets it, and it's a jump ball. Coach Wadsworth wants a 30-second timeout.
He's got all 5 of them, so.
6:46 left to go. Mentioned the Bloomington North Cougars, the other team that we cover here on Smithville.
Well, it looks like they're calling it a 2 now for Sater.
Oh, so Sater does get was on the line.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to call it. Officials going over to. I think they are going to give him the 3-pointer. It's 48-30, what the score shows. So,
all right.
So they did give Sater the 3, his 10th-3 on the season. Mentioned the Bloomington North Cougars 17-4. They win last night 60-49 over Terre Haute North. Nick Kleiber 23 points, Aaron Steinfeld 11, Jeremiah Blair with 10. 17-4 on the year, host Columbus North next Friday night.
Basket, Morgan.
Gavin Morgan hits the 3 for the Bulldogs. There is Sater inside.
Basket, Sater.
And Edgewood in control. With it is Morgan. He gets fouled by Trevor Taylor.
Personal foul, number 3, Taylor.
That's his second. For Trevor Taylor, team's 4th. They lose the ball. And Deckard gets fouled and will get to go to the line.
Personal foul, number 23, Sims.
It's 3 on Sean Sims.
Deckard to shoot 2 free throws.
Deckard at the line. Missed the first one. If you count the 2 quarters that Sean Sims played, he's had 7 total fouls tonight. As Deckard hits the second one, lead is 16. Taylor. Sater. To Taylor. Offensive foul on Sean Sims.
23,
That's his
Sims.
4th. As 50-34, 16-point lead. Three more for Edgewood. Northview Tuesday night, Mitchell next Friday, and then on the road at Eastern Green the following Thursday to finish it out. Zeke Powell, 3, got it.
Basket by Powell.
Just
Lead is
as
19.
I said, I think they grow them out in the cornfields. I think just 3-point shooters everywhere.
Yeah, Edgewood's had a history of them. Powell's going to go deep and going to try to call bank, and he left it short. Now there's a foul on
I don't know if
Edgewood.
that was a heat check or something.
Personal foul, number 10, Hutton Locker.
Because the first one was impressive. Tried to let that one up it, but
Substitution number 11, Clip. Number 23, Elrod.
Clip and Elrod will
Deckard will
check
shoot 1
in.
bonus.
Griffin Deckard at the line. Yeah, Powell was feeling that. He was definitely way behind the line. Right in front of our vantage point. Deckard gets that one. We will have one more He misses that one. Taylor. Sims. Sater. Gets it to Taylor. In a clear space down the lane, and one for Trevor Taylor.
Basket by Taylor is good.
Lead is now 20.
Personal foul, number 23, Elrod.
It's on Elrod, his
Taylor with the
second.
free throw.
Team's sixth. One more, and Edgewood will be in the bonus. Taylor at the line. He is 4 of 5 from the line. Lead is 21. So the Mustangs are going to continue to continue to dominate this series. They're going to lead now 8-4 since 2009 and now make it 5 in a row on this Orleans squad. And Orleans' sectional is not easy. You got Bar Reeve, North Davie, Shoals, Lagodi, and Washington Catholic. That's a tough sectional. Bar Reeve, one of the top teams in Southern Indiana. Lagodi also having a good season. North Davies is always a competitive team as well. So John Lovett with it. Clip is going to fire the three and hit it. His second three of the night.
Basket by Clip.
Approaching 3.5 to go. So Edgewood gonna go to 10-10 on the year.
And if I'm Coach Bradley, I take a lot of solace from that first half. The first half was really good. Things just started unraveling here in the second half.
Yeah, Orleans is always a team. They can always they don't hang their heads. They're a competitive team. They always make a good effort. It's just there are nights you're just outmatched and outplayed, and Edgewood just has done that. As Griffin Deckard hits the shot, will go to the line.
Basket is good. Sims with foul.
We're going to see Keto, Farkas, and Harrington come in for Hunt and Locker, Sims, and
Substitutions,
Powell.
Harrington, Farkas, and Keto for the Mustangs.
Orleans will finish out with West
Hopper
Washington
and Baker for
Tuesday, Shoals
Orleans.
next Friday, and then Brownstown Central a week from Friday.
Also number 14, Josh Ray.
Josh Ray will check in for Orleans. Bulldogs have lost 5 in a row. They'll drop their 6th straight. Farkas slices between the Bulldogs and gets fouled. Go line.
Some really good footwork by Farkas to be
Personal
able
foul,
to
number 3, Martin.
basically create that lane by himself. That was a
Farkas
manufactured
shooting
lane to the basket.
4 on Martin. Farkas at the line. 5 points tonight. Makes it 6.
Substitutions.
We're going to see Cam Curtis
For
and
the Bulldogs,
Logan
number 5,
Slayball
Morgan. For the
come
Mustangs,
in
number
for the first
54,
time,
Logan Slayball. Number 13, Cam Curtis.
replacing Sater and Taylor.
And they get a nice cheer from the crowd, as it's probably the last time we'll see them in the game.
Farkas will get the free throw. 17-point lead for the Mustangs. And Orleans lose it out of bounds. It will be Edgewood ball. So the Mustangs will end their losing skid. Lost the last 4 games. Harrington gonna feel it from deep, and that sails out of bounds. He has definitely struggled tonight. No points for Parker Harrington. Approaching 2 minutes to go. Orleans working that ball around. Inside, nice move in the air for Gavin Morgan to finish.
Basket by Morgan.
A good test attempt by Harrington. It's just was able to contort his body and be able to make the basket side. It's good defense, but better offense.
58-43 taken away by Baker. Josh Ray, 14 in the game. We'll slow it up. Baker inside, or outside. Morgan with it. Shot up, no good. Battle for it. Harrington saves it. Now they're going to say he stepped on the line. It's Orleans' ball.
Substitution number 1.
Patrick Gardner, 6'1" senior, number 1, will check in for Sam Keto. Well, Sam Keto doesn't only, he's got 3 points tonight, but he does so many other things.
That was a huge one because the game was tied at that point.
Hit the 3 at the end of the first quarter to break the tie. He's not always one to score. He'll score when he has to, just like his older brother Joe did, but he does so many other things that don't always show up in the stat sheet for Edgewood. Under a minute to go. There's Farkas. Now Ray is going to commit the foul.
Personal foul, number 14, Ray.
That'll be his team's 8th. Farkas at the line.
Yeah, that looked a little brutal, but I think it's just more of that he didn't expect Farkas to just stop like that.
So Farkas hits the 1. We're going to see number 2, Aiden Jurgis, check in for Parker Harrington.
Substitution for the Mustangs. Jurgis.
So Farkas with 1 more. He will get that to go, and then he's going to be replaced by Henry Doring, number 22, in the Mustang lineup.
Doring.
So 45 seconds to go. Mustangs up by 17. Morgan drives, no good. Battle for it. He gets fouled.
Substitution number 22, Henry Doring.
Henry Doring with a foul. Going to send Morgan to the line. 9 points tonight for Gavin Morgan. And he gets in double figures. Landon Ringler, number 11, checks in. Coach Wadsworth has brought in all players available to him as Cam Curtis goes out. And he misses that one, gets the rebound and the putback.
And what a fitting end to this game that they ended it on an offensive rebound.
It's what Orleans has done most of the night. Henry Doring gets the bucket.
Basket by Doring.
That gets a roar from the Edgewood bench. 8 seconds to go as the Mustangs are going to go to 500, 10-10 on the year. Orleans will drop to 7-13. It's a foul.
Personal foul, number 24, Logan Splayball.
His first.
Morgan shooting the double bonus.
Gavin Morgan at the line. Gets that one to go. And one more for Morgan. Gets that to go. 62-48 will be the final as Edgewood is victorious. Mustangs 10-10 on the year. We look at the highlights, and there is Devin Martin driving it for Orleans. Trevor Taylor answers for Edgewood. Coleman Sater and Trevor Taylor in double figures once again for Edgewood. Mustangs love to go from the outside. They hit the three with Derek Farkas. And then Caden Hundenlocker hits the three.
Here at the Corral on Tuesday night when they
Three from Gavin Morgan. Zeke Powell wide open with a beautiful three. Logan Slayball gets it to Henry Doring to finish it off as the Mustangs are victorious 62-48. For all the hardworking men and women behind the scenes, for my partner Quinn Saturday, I am Nick Jenkinson. We thank you for watching and good night from Ellettsville.